This major pass is located on the N2 national route between Grahamstown and King Williamstown. It's 21 kilometers long and has an altitude variance of 528 meters. The road is beautifully engineered to the point that at times drivers won't even realize that they're on a major pass. There are surprisingly few bends on this pass, and none of them exceed a radius of 80 degrees. One can maintain a steady speed throughout the pass. That said, there's time to enjoy the scenery, and please note that the speed limits change between 80 and 100 kilometers per hour along several of the sections. As is the case with all passes on national routes, increased traffic volumes create their own hazards, and this pass carries plenty of heavy-duty trucks, so be aware that if you end up behind one of these slow-moving vehicles on any of the uphill sections, that you will need to exercise patience and wait for a break in the barrier lines. Please note that the road has no overtaking lanes on the ascents, so you'll need to be aware of the minibus taxis and the courier delivery vehicles who regularly flaunt the regulations. To approach from the west, as we filmed it, take the N2 from Grahamstown, heading east towards Peddy and King Williamstown for 41 kilometers to arrive at the western start of the pass. The western descent is very gentle and is very long at 16 kilometers, with gradients seldom exceeding 1 in 20. The Great Fish River is crossed at the 16-kilometer point at an altitude of just 40 meters above sea level. The bridge is modern and is both curved and cambered. The climb up the eastern side of the valley is much shorter at 5 kilometers and has similar gradients as the descent. The pass is suitable for all vehicles. The Great Fish River, called Great to distinguish it from the Namibian Fish River, is a river running 644 kilometers through the Eastern Cape. It was originally named Rio do Infante, after João Infante, the captain of one of the caravels of Bartholomew Dias. Infante visited the river in the late 1480s. The name Great Fish is also something of a misnomer, since it's a translation of the Dutch Groot Visrivier, which was the name of the tributary in the vicinity of Cradock, which at its confluence with the Little Fish River forms what is properly called the Eastern Cape Fish River. It originates east of Graaff-Reinet and runs through Cradock. Further south, the Tarka River joins at its left bank. Thence it makes a zigzag turn to Cookhouse, from where it meanders down the escarpment east of Grahamstown before its final straight run to its estuary 8 kilometers northeast of Seafield into the Indian Ocean. The river is generally permanent, having water all year round, although its headwaters rise in an arid region and the natural flow can be quite sluggish in the dry season beyond the ebb and flow of the tidal reaches. These days, water from the Orange River system can be used to keep its flow up in dry periods. The river is tidal for roughly 20 kilometers. Its main tributaries are the Groot Brakrivier, the Tarka River and the Kap River on the western side and the Little Fish River on the eastern side. The Great Fish River is part of the Fish to Tsitsikamma water management area. In the 1970s, a major water project brought Orange River water via the Fish River for agricultural and industrial use. The tunnel for this was a major engineering undertaking with the intake at Overston on the shores of the Gerib Dam. A hydroelectric generating plant was placed at the Fish River egress, but it's uneconomic and not in use. Mixing of waters from two watersheds has been environmentally disastrous. Much of the Fish River ecosystem is now taken over by Orange River flora and fauna. Vegetation consists of valley thicket, dune thicket, riparian vegetation and fynbos. The Eastern Cape giant cycad, the red and white milkwood are all protected trees and are found in this valley. Other significant species include the acacia, white pear, Karoo boerbean, Strelitzia nicolai, dune poison bush, wild plum, coral tree and small knobwood. As far as endemic fish are concerned, there's a small population of the endangered Eastern Province Rocky in the Cat River, which is part of the Great Fish River Basin. Be sure to watch part 2 of the Great Fish River Pass.